The third season of Stranger Things has finally come to Netflix, and it's chock full of all the quirky, monster-hunting 80s weirdness fans have come to love. If you don't have time to burn through 8 episodes but don't want to get left out of the water cooler talks, or you just want to talk about some stuff you might have missed, you've come to the right place. What's up, guys? Chris Killian here with a recap to the rescue as I break down the highlights of Stranger Things 3. Now, this should go without saying, but warning ahead for those of you avoiding spoilers, this video ain't for you. First, let's talk about all things 80s. Stranger Things has always been a cornucopia of 80s references, and this season is no different, with what feels like some sort of homage or Easter egg every few seconds. But the plot of the entire season borrows from some real heavy hitters, like Terminator, Alien, Red Dawn, just to name a few. The third season also incorporates the most 80s of American villains there ever were, the Russians, who we see have been developing their own portal into the Upside Down, reminiscent of the Cold War arms race that was a hot button topic throughout so much of the Reagan era. We pick up around 6 months after the second season ended. Mike and Eleven are making out all the time, and it makes Hopper super uncomfortable. John and Nancy are still dating while Joyce is slowly recovering from Bob's death. Will has zero interest in girls and just wants to go back to playing D&D all the time. Dustin is returning from summer camp where he claims to have a new girlfriend, and Steve is working at Scoops Ahoy and has seemingly lost his charm as a ladies' man. Oh, and Billy is a lifeguard at the pool, drawing the attention of all the moms, namely Mike's mom, who almost hooks up with him, but when she doesn't, Billy gets kidnapped by something evil. Turns out it's the Mind Flayer, which got stuck on Earth when Eleven closed the original portal. It pretty much possesses Billy, who then goes out Invasion of the Body Snatchers style and starts kidnapping / possessing other people like Heather, her parents, this old lady named Miss Driscoll, etc., etc. For the most part, the season basically splits the clan up into a couple of groups to venture off into their own separate storyline threads before they all come together at the end. Steve and Dustin reunite along with his co-worker Robin and Lucas's little sister Erica, and they try to learn about a top-secret Russian base built under the mall that's responsible for reopening a portal to the Upside Down. Eleven and Max become BFF and team up with Mike and Lucas once Eleven realizes that Billy's up to some shadiness, which causes them to link up with John and Nancy, who are trying to break a story about some nasty exploding rats that seem to be causing poor Miss Driscoll to want to eat fertilizer and cleaning products. Meanwhile, Hopper and Joyce learn that Larry the mayor is crooked and has let the Russians secretly infiltrate the town for their project. Along the way, they pick up a lovable Russian scientist named Alexei and Murray, who just so happens to speak Russian and translates for them. They're being chased down by a Russian assassin who looks suspiciously like a T-800. Unfortunately, he kills Alexei at the carnival. As everyone uncovers more and more, it all leads into a finale where everyone comes together at the Starcourt Mall. Hopper and Joyce head underground to destroy the portal. However, their code doesn't work, and Dustin reaches out to his mysterious girlfriend over radio. Turns out she's real and she can help. But she doesn't until Dustin agrees to duet the never-ending story with her. It's great.
Never-ending story.
The kids are all left upstairs to fend off the Mind Flayer in his gigantic monstrous form. Billy shows up and nearly kills Eleven, planning on sacrificing her to the Mind Flayer, but before he can, she uses her powers to recall his memories with his mom, and in a moment of redemption, protects Eleven and sacrifices himself in the process. Underground, Hopper gets into a great throwdown with the Russianator and wins, but at a moment when it's too late, and Joyce is forced to turn the keys herself, seemingly annihilating Hopper in the blast. The portal closes and the Mind Flayer dies. 3 months go by and everyone is moving on with their lives, while Eleven is quite understandably still upset about Hopper. Joyce seems relatively okay though, considering this is her second or third romantic interest to die, I think. I don't know, I'm losing count. A mid-credit sting, however, reveals that Russians on the other side of the globe have a Demogorgon, and reveal they also have an American, suggesting Hopper might still be alive. That pretty much sums up the third season of Stranger Things. Let me know what you thought in the comments or tweet me at Chris Killian, and thanks for watching.